Hey guys, it's those guys geeking out again for another week. We got some movie news talking about Bad Santa as well. We're going to be talking about the Supergirl premiere that happened this week, and we're going to be talking about some Halo news. So get ready to geek out with us. Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of Geek Out. I'm Steve, and I'm hungover as fuck.
I'm Jason.
Based off the lights here, you might call me Powder. No, just joking. I'm Chris.
I'm Charles.
And so this week we're going to talk a bit about TV news. We're going to get right into a bit of TV news, talking about the Supergirl premiere this week. I haven't watched it, but a few of the guys here have, so I'm going to get them to jump right in with their impressions.
Absolutely, Steve, and thank you so much for throwing it my way. No, you are right. So the stats came out, and Supergirl just kicking ass on the television market. Although I will say I did watch the pilot. It felt very CW-ish to me. I mean, yeah. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was fun. I did have an issue with James Olsen. We can't even call him Jimmy because apparently that's fucking too taboo. But I hate the fact that Jimmy Olsen literally looks like he's played by ebony GQ model fucking Tyson Beckford. Handsome as shit. Jacked as fuck. Looks like he could actually take Superman on one-on-one. Other than that, I liked the show. I mean, I thought it was fun. It was entertaining. Don't get me wrong. Is it going to sit at the top of my queue every week like Arrow and The Flash? Probably not. But I will watch it. I'm having a good time.
Cavaliers are going to be drafting him pretty shortly. I'm pretty sure. It was fun, though. It was all right. I mean, it was definitely Flash, Arrow, CW. It was in that vein, It was pretty good, though. Entertaining, not too bad. I don't know. It's interesting to see where it will go.
It's definitely going to be one of those shows for me that's going to have to wait until the end of the season before I sit down and, watch it all, because I like Arrow is at the top of my list in most shows to try and watch. Preacher is going to be premiering soon, so I'm looking forward to that. That's probably going to take the top of the list. But Jason, you were saying before you had some impressions about the Supergirl premiere.
Well, the thing, Jason, before I want to let you know too, is we talk about how it looks very much like a CW show, but in reality, it's not a CW show.
No, CBS does own the CW though, so
yeah, I guess.
And it is the same. It's Andrew. God, I can't remember his last name. That's done Arrow and the Flash. He's doing Supergirl as well.
Yeah, it's Andrew Kreisberg.
Yeah, Kreisberg. That's it. So that's probably why it kind of feels the same. And I know they've said that it's not going to connect in with the Arrowverse or whatever you want to call it, but
which is stupid. I wish it would.
Yeah, I understand why. CBS is just trying to get into the genre like everybody else is now. So it's fair that they probably want to keep it all to themselves, but I hope there's some wiggle room to leave it open. Though we do got to remember Arrow and Flash have done their best to kind of state like, hey, Superman, Batman, those guys are totes off limits, and Supergirl has that direct connection. We see shaded Superman in the pilot for Supergirl, so we know he exists in that world. So
and they make a lot of references to him too about Metropolis.
They do, yeah,
shit like that.
Yeah. The big guy. That's what they call him the whole show. Because
but I think a lot of that comes from just kind of introducing him to the general viewing audience as well.
Yeah, and it really does tie down who Kara is, right? Not everybody's going to know Supergirl, right? She's not. Yeah. She's not an A-lister, but it was good. I liked it. It's not the best. Again, like Steve, I don't know if it's at the top of my list. It does come ahead of Gotham for me, though. So that's
just started up again.
Well, I haven't watched any of season 2, so if I might keep watching Supergirl and see what comes of it. It wasn't too bad. Some of the effects were a little bit cheesy, but it's TV.
Yeah. I will say though. The casting wise, I don't have a problem with Melissa Benoist playing.
She's
Supergirl.
amazing.
She's great. It's fun.
Yeah.
She's hot. It's exactly what you want in Supergirl.
She's adorkable. I think that's the phrase we're using now for these types of leading ladies. But yeah, no, it's I think she does anchor the show really well. Kind of like how Grant Gustin. Maybe it's because they're all from Glee.
I was gonna say it's funny you say Grant Gustin because you look at it like fuck. You're right. It's like Glee was as big as it was, and now all of a sudden they're like, oh well, fuck it. I'm done singing. Let's go take over the superhero world.
You got. I also look at it too that I'm not saying that these networks don't have money, but I mean you compare this universe to the juggernaut that is the Marvel universe and the amount of money that Disney has to pump into it. I mean, Disney's like a new show. Oh, I want to make a show about this comic book. All right, here's money. Lots of money. But I don't think the DC universe gets the same treatment. But
no, but at the same time, as far as the Marvel Cinematic Universe goes, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. It was first out of the gate, right? I mean, it's exactly what it was. But now you're at a point where all these weird niche shows that people weren't sure whether or not they were or they weren't going to take off, and we'll start right at the film side of things. Guardians of the Galaxy. No one knew how that was going to go, and it turned out to be one of the fucking biggest movies they ever put out. Mm-hmm. So once you see things like that, they started taking the risk. So they released the Daredevil series, which was absolutely phenomenal.
Oh,
then all of a sudden you got season 2 coming, and then you got the Punisher coming. Jessica Jones. Like
that show looks badass.
It looks unbelievable, and Marvel's just fucking killing it right now.
I think DC too. They're playing things a little bit different. How like their properties are all separate, right? Like TV world is separate from the movie world. And I remember Jeff Johns did an interview once a while back talking about how like this is their idea of the multiverse, right? Like let's that's why the movies are different. And I think Marvel just has the benefit of having that shared. Now, they started building that shared world, so they have
except
that
for X-Men. Except for X-Men.
Well, give it time. It's they'll find a way. They'll get it back. It's a matter of time.
I'm thinking they're going to do it with the Inhumans, and because the Inhumans are tied to X-Men, and I think that's how they're going to bring the next series of X-Men movies into.
And it gives them because the Inhumans is what, like 2017, 2018, something like that.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, fuck, they have plenty of time to figure out a way.
Unless you're watching Agents of Shield.
Yeah, which is spoiler.
Great show.
But yeah, so at the end of the day, I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I mean, I do enjoy The Flash. I do enjoy Arrow. I mean, the TV adaptation, the CW adaptation of DC's universe right now, I enjoy. I don't think it's a secret. Jason and I, we've talked about it. We love it. Steve, you're catching up. Charles, we're not sure where you are yet, but I know you talk about how much you like it.
I gotta catch up. I haven't watched much.
But yeah, so other than that, I'm excited for it. But yeah, my thoughts overall, I thought Supergirl was well done. At the end of the day, I mean, I'll like Jimmy Olsen. He's a likable character. It's just he's too sexy for my likings, I guess.
He's a good point forward.
I don't know.
One thing
good power forward.
One thing I want to mention, guys, and this wasn't actually on our list of things to mention, but this just kind of came out of the. It just kind of came out of the topic of this, more like adaptations. And we're talking about going forward now with adaptations. One thing I'm noticing with the Marvel Universe, and you mentioned it with Daredevil and Jessica Jones, Chris, I find Marvel's doing more of the mature side of their universe now going forward, kind of to maybe, get away from the kiddie
as far as the TV series goes. But now on the movie side of things, DC's coming in gritty. DC's coming in Suicide Squad, Batman, Superman. I mean, it looks dark.
But do you think that? Yeah. Do you guys think that?
Dark.
But do you guys think this is going to happen with Marvel eventually? That we might see a little bit more mature Marvel movies coming?
Because they nailed Daredevil. I hope all the series go that way.
Daredevil's phenomenal. Yeah,
I think while Daredevil is phenomenal, I mean, Jessica Jones is based on the Alias comic, which was an R-rated comic book when it was out in the early 2000s as well. I think the big thing with Marvel is that their movies are designed to hit a large audience, which includes, kids, teens, adults, grandparents, great-grandparents, whatever.
Well, you got to remember they want to sell lunchboxes, T-shirts, and action figures too.
But like Netflix is kind of like HBO or AMC, where they can go ahead and do these like darker. Yeah. Like they just have the ability to do that kind of stuff on Netflix, where they probably don't want to touch it so much with the movies because they'll lose. They'll lose that like everyman appeal kind of thing.
It seems like TV is the place to go to be a little bit more mature, because like you have The Walking Dead, the upcoming Preacher adaptation, which, like I said, I'm super excited for, and I don't know, it just seems like it's going more mature. Now we are going to see some more mature adaptations coming, because Sandman is going to soon be going into production. But yeah, who knows what's going to happen? But speaking of,
I just want to make a quick note too. about Supergirl. One little side thing is that they added Helen Slater and Dean Cain. I don't know if you saw that. Helen Slater's Supergirl, Dean Cain, Lois and Clark. That was pretty cool.
He must be out of work. But one thing I will mention that happened this week, and I'm kind of sad about this. We won't take too long because there is kind of an underlying reason, is the production of Alien 5 has been postponed, the Neil Blomkamp production. And I'm sad because, honestly, I was looking more forward to this than I was Prometheus 2. And that's the reason why. So, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Do you care? Are you Aliens fans like I am?
Oh, for sure. You have to. I think when you say it's been put on hold, it's going to happen, though, bud. That's good news. It's going to get delayed. But at some point, you got to think it's going to happen. I mean, Aliens is Aliens. You can't not have a good time. I mean, it was in fact, I remember Aliens was probably one of the first movies as a kid, I guess we'll say. When I saw it, I was blown away by it, right? I mean, the whole concept, the original Aliens movie blew my mind.
Yeah, the original Alien, I'm a huge fan of the series, although I honestly just try to forget Alien 3 and Resurrection, because Alien Resurrection, more so than Alien 3, is a piece of shit.
Oh, the one I try to forget is Alien versus Predator.
Well, they're kind of off on their own, so you can kind of forget them. I don't even include them in the series. But then you had Aliens 1, or Alien, and then Aliens, so Aliens 2, absolute phenomenal movie. I mean, there's so many lines that come out of that. It's like game over, man, and stuff like that. Like, it's just that is like a pivotal science fiction movie, and it created the sci-fi horror genre. So I'm just a little sad because I want to see a new Alien movie. I like Prometheus. I like that world, but I don't know. And I'm hoping that it's just on hold and that it eventually, Blomkamp will come back.
I think it's just his way of freeing himself up to do other projects while he waits for Prometheus to come out. Like, I think it was kind of his way of publicly saying, hey, I'm available to do something else while I wait to do this kind of thing. You know what I mean? So,
because I don't know if you guys are fans of his work. I love District 9. I love Elysium.
Awesome.
I love Blomkamp's movies. I like the realistic looking sci-fi, something that I can look at and say, hey, that is possible. So, but yeah, District 9, Elysium. I haven't seen Chappie yet. I haven't heard too many good things about it, but I don't like most of his movies are like kind of mixed reviews anyway. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. But one thing I am looking forward to, and I know we're probably all looking forward to it, Billy Bob Thornton signed on for Bad Santa 2.
Bad Santa.
Oh yeah, and that makes me so happy because that movie was so good.
Fuck me, Santa. Fuck me, Santa. Fuck me, Santa. Fuck me, Santa.
I can't wait for that movie. I'm so looking forward to it.
Well, and to have Billy Bob back as well. I mean, he's pivotal to that.
He's been gone for a while too, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been a little bit radio silent, but I'm not sure what he's been doing.
Sounds like he needs some money.
But he's been touring with his band too. He has a little band. So.
Hey, maybe he does need some money.
Well, my other question too is, I mean, when you're seeing exactly what talking about him in Bad Santa 2, is the other cast members coming back as well?
I only read that Billy Bob was confirmed.
Okay. Fuck, that was a great movie.
I mean, I would assume that some of the other cast members are going to come back. Maybe not in such huge roles, but I mean, we're getting Billy Bob back as the main role.
I would probably put Bad Santa up there as some of my favorite Christmas movies, almost up there with Die Hard.
Yes, and if anybody questions whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie or not, you can go fuck yourself.
Die Hard's a great Christmas movie.
Takes place at Christmas. It's a Christmas movie. Batman Returns and Die Hard. That's my Christmas fucking holiday.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Right?
Yeah. The first two are Christmas movies. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I've had debates with people being like, it's not a Christmas movie. It takes place during Christmas.
Hey, man.
It's a fucking Christmas movie.
Even the sequel takes part in the snow. And I still think that. Fuck it. That's a Christmas movie, too. Fuck it. There's snow on the ground.
It is
December
the greatest.
Close.
It is the greatest Christmas movie ever. Fuck Santa. Fuck all this Christmas bullshit. Die Hard. I'm gonna put John McClane at the top of my tree this year.
Shoot the glass.
It's gonna be Bruce Willis is gonna come to my house. He's gonna sit on top of the tree. But yeah, so
like he needs the money.
Guys, because I'm hungover, I've reached a mind block. What else do we have on the plate for this week?
Well, a few things. Again, we won't get into too heavy detail on it, but some good news and some good stories have come out the last bit. Everyone was wondering, when's the next time we're going to see Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk in a Marvel movie? Because he obviously, when in the Age of Ultron, he jumped in his little ship and fucked off into the middle of nowhere. No one knew where he was going. In fact, there was a lot of rumors and speculation that, oh my God, this could be exactly what we need before we see a Planet Hulk movie, maybe a Red Hulk movie, who knows? And they killed those rumors pretty quick. They're like, no, Chance. Not fans, excuse me. Chill the fuck out. That's not going to happen. But it has been announced
Calm down, China.
Thor Ragnarok. You will see the return of Mark Ruffalo and the Incredible Hulk. He will be making an appearance in that movie. So fans who have been panicking all along, worry pa about it. You will see your favorite.
Sounds like it's going to be like a buddy cop film kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh my God! Do you remember Double Team with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dennis Rodman? Great movie.
Yeah.
Sorry,
What a
segue.
I love how you immediately go to that movie. As
Well,
the
you said buddy cop. It was either that or Cop Out with Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan.
No, you went.
No.
Right way.
Oh, I can't believe it. Lethal Weapon.
Oh, that's not a buddy cop movie. That's a serious, another great Christmas film, I might add.
That's a fucking that is the buddy cop.
He kills people looking for a Christmas tree. I mean, it doesn't get any more festive than that.
And the second one is a really great introspection on the effects of diplomatic immunity in U.S. society.
But I think you can only go, if we're talking about Die Hard, obviously other than fucking, what was it, Martin Riggs and fucking, what did Danny Glover play? Murtaugh Riggs, but fuck, it was all about Joe Pesci, boys. It was all about Joe Pesci.
And the fourth one was like Mel Gibson's last movie before he went crazy.
Just to circle back to Thor, not that I don't want to talk about Lethal Weapon. You guys talked about Planet Hulk a bit. I think that's a hard movie to do with the way they've set up the Hulk as kind of like not so much of an antagonist in the MCU. Because in the Planet Hulk comic, they kind of sent him there as punishment for being a raging dickbag. And I mean, they haven't really set the character up that way.
No, but at the same time,
MCU.
throughout this movie, you think about it, though. I mean, through Avengers Age of Ultron, 3 or 4 times they made references to the point where, fucking Hulk went nuts and potentially killed a bunch of people. Like, even at the beginning, when he was just like, no, you know what, big guy, it wasn't that bad. Thor, how bad was it? He's like, oh, fucking the blood of everybody.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, so at the end of the day, I mean, it's not like they couldn't go that way. I mean, Marvel does things a little differently.
Yeah,
they make it a different angle to get there, but they've signaled them off.
They can write it to do it the way they want, but I think if fans want a traditional Planet Hulk film, it's not gonna. It probably won't fly, but who knows? We'll see.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I agree. But anyways, bottom line is you will see the big guy, Thor Ragnarok, which will be coming out, I think, is next year?
I think it's
Next year, I believe.
One of the two. It's either next year or the year after. But either way...
Next year, Civil War.
Quick note, just a quick note, since we're talking about continuity. I love how you guys mentioned that they want to keep everything, continuous and, all together. Michael B. Jordan as Boba Fett.
Oh, you fucking asshole. You fucking asshole.
We can edit that out, right? We can edit that out.
I'm cutting it. No Star Wars in this conversation.
All right, Dubby, go for your Bieber.
Good. Go. All right.
Fucking so Bieber's a legend. No.
Fuck.
So let's talk about our big story.
Halo?
Big story.
Halo?
Halo 5 came out this week, kids, and like all of us here, we are Halo fans. If you are not, what the fuck is wrong with you? Halo 5 is getting some flack because this week people are saying, "Oh no, the commercials didn't portray the story."
I wouldn't say
right.
people. I would say an IGN writer.
Oh, an IGN. Oh, okay. There we go. IGN, because they're the most pretentious people on the face of the planet.
That's what we want to do. We want to signal out IGN in our podcast.
Yeah.
And hope that they fucking aren't watching.
Hey, listen. Let's cut. You want to talk about calling a spade a spade? IGN is paid by Game Informer, and they are paid to have certain ideas. But the thing is what I've always found with IGN is they are incredibly overcritical about certain things, like to the point it's stupid.
Yes, I mean
So-
they did give Halo 5 a 9 out of 10. So I mean, either Microsoft's paying them, or this article was just like a differing opinion sort of thing. I can understand where somebody might be upset because, I mean, the ads and the trailers and the lead up to it really painted a picture of a different game than the one we got. I finished the campaign on Thursday, and it's very reminiscent of how like Halo 2 ended, in that like we just get like an ending, and now it's like, fuck, now I gotta wait 3 years to see what happens. And I mean, anybody who didn't know that was going to be the case, you guys are idiots. Like, there's going to be a Halo 6. Like, fuck, come on, man.
I'm just like, you know what? The trailer could have portrayed anything. It's Halo. It's going to be an amazing game, whether the story in the trailer was the correct one or not. It's going to be an amazing game. It's like people are just trying to find things to complain about these days.
I don't think so. I mean, I had a weird thought about it before I read the article, because like so the trailers really depict this whole like Spartan Locke is really hunting down Master Chief because he's went rogue for whatever known reason, and it really made it feel like the game was going to pick up with that story right away. Like, he's tracking Chief because he views Chief as like an enemy of the state, and like Locke is all about his mission and focused on his mission, and we the players have followed Chief all the way up to this point know that there's more to the story than that. But then when you play the game, it's not like that. Locke has a lot of respect for Chief. He's trying to help him, and you know Chief's motives aren't out of line. It's just it was a totally different game than what some people probably were expecting. Not a bad game per se.
You said enemy of the state, and I instantly was hoping I'd see a video game with Will Smith and Gene Hackman. Sorry, carry on.
Yep,
to Halo.
And that John Voight was going to be the bad.
But yeah, no, Halo's a great game. I mean, I have enjoyed it. I mean, obviously, I haven't beaten it yet. I'm not like Jason. I didn't lose sleep over it.
Yeah, I did.
But ultimately, I can tell you, I found everything. Like the storyline, it was great because I picked up the controller and I started to play, and it felt like I was playing Halo. Like it didn't. It's exactly what Halo used to be.
It reminds me very much of Halo 2 and 3, like especially the multiplayer for sure. It's definitely the best multiplayer that they've had since the second one by far. You don't have the loadouts anymore. It's not Call of Duty like. It's very much like spawn in, everybody has the same weapons, and you got to find your fucking gear out on the map and go to town, and it's very fun. Yeah, I don't know. I will say one thing. A lot of reviews that I've read complain that the story is very convoluted and hard to follow, and I do see where they're coming from with that. If you're new to the Halo franchise, for the love of God, don't buy Halo 5 and expect to understand what's going on, because you very much have had to have played the other ones to kind of see where they're going. So I will say that much. And on a side note, I do have a review prepped. We'll be seeing it go live this week. So I mean, if you guys want to read my impressions, if you care.
My dog's a big Halo fan.
I can see that.
Hey, what do you think of Halo? Let me see. Oh, yeah. See, he gave it a lick. That means he likes it.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, no, ultimately, I agree with you. I can't wait. In fact, don't forget, guys, you can see that review up on thoseguysgeek.com. We look forward to it now that the site's back up and running full tilt. It'll be something that you can watch Jason as he loses sleep and writes reviews after playing video games, right? So, but yeah, no, I agree with you full tilt, Jason. I mean, yeah, if you're new to the Halo franchise, don't start here. This would be a tough place for you to start. But ultimately, it felt good to be able to play a new Halo game. Like, for me, that's what it was about, right? I mean, we played Halo for so long, and then obviously the Master Chief Collection came out. So it was kind of a taste for those guys who had Xbox Ones to finally get a piece of Halo action. But then finally a new Halo game came out, and it's fucking glorious.
Yeah. Not the best one in the franchise, but it's nice to have it, and it's nice to see a continuation from 4, which I thought was a huge high note for the series. And also, this was a big kind of like 343 Industries took over from Bungie, and it's kind of like, what are they going to do with it? Are they going to fuck it up, or is it like, and I don't think they did. I think they did a great job.
Think about Halo. I mean, realistically, we wouldn't be playing Xbox Ones. Halo was the game. Halo was, for the original Xbox, it was the first launch game Halo, like the Xbox originally had. This is what started it all.
I will say Halo revolutionized the modern first-person shooter genre back in the early 2000s. I think games like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark back in the N64s showed us that we could have it on the console, but I think Halo was the first one to actually bring mechanics in that were like, okay, the console is a place where you can play shooters, and from there it's just evolved, right? So
Charles, what are your impressions?
Do you know what I played this week? I played Valiant Hearts: The Great War.
That is a good game.
A great game.
And next, hey, now you can pick up
Tris,
now you can pick up Numa, the fantastic free puzzle game.
Ooh, Numa.
I think you guys are right though. It's like GoldenEye was the idea that this type of game can work on console, and then Halo was the one that refined it and made it comfortable to be on a console. And going forward, I mean, we wouldn't have Call of Duty, at least in terms of the popularity, than if it wasn't for Halo. Halo was the quintessential game to have.
No question.
Everybody was playing Halo, and I mean, for people to not give Halo its due, you know, you're dumb. But it's really good to see Xbox going back to its roots to garner success, because I mean, they are going back to game series that they relied on in the beginning to bring themselves to a very good point. Like we have Halo, Gears of War.
I can't wait for the new Gears. I can't wait.
And I mean, it's good to see a company willing to take a stand and say, hey, we don't need Call of Duty for success. We have our own games that can do that. And I'd say you could put Halo and Call of Duty on the same level.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they were necessarily making another Halo game to go back to something. They're just continuing the series and keeping it strong. And Call of Duty is going to be Call of Duty no matter what happens. Right?
But next week?
What?
Yeah,
Call of Duty comes out soon, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? First one, I did not pre-order. First one, I'm not going to buy. Let's say that.
I'm not buying it either. It's,
I can't commit to that. I'm going to say I'm not going to buy it, and then fucking I'll have it on Tuesday. So
yeah. You don't. We'll just play Battlefront.
Tomb Raider, man. Tomb Raider.
But what I mean, Charles, by going back is not necessarily that they went back saying, hey, we got to do another Halo. No, there was going to be another Halo. But the fact that they are pushing the marketing towards their games and not other games, every year, Halo and Call of Duty have kind of fought for like what is going to be the top shooter this year. And I think now from here on out, we're going to see probably Halo being the two game, and rightfully so. It's an amazing game.
I think,
but
I just don't 100% agree with. I don't know. I know what you're saying. I go with what you're saying.
What Stu's trying to get is that Microsoft's putting a lot of faith into its
for sure
properties instead of
like
this is the first year that they haven't had an endorsement deal with with Call of Duty, so they're not getting
for
DLCs first before anybody else. Like they put a lot of focus on Halo. And speaking of Halo and DLC, all of it's free, guys. All the new maps are coming out with free. Why are we not playing? Fuck Battlefront.
Yeah.
And fuck you, Steve.
Cancel your pre-order.
Cancel my pre-order of Battlefront. Yeah, watch me shoot myself. Battlefront is going to be amazing.
I agree.
It's going to be amazing.
I agree.
But do you guys agree with a lot of the shit that we talked about this week? We talked about some movie news. We talked about some TV news. We talked about some gaming news. Let us know in the comments below. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you're catching this on Facebook, please like our page and, share it with the masses. And also, if you don't have it done already, please subscribe to us on iTunes and SoundCloud to hear the audio of this podcast every week. But guys, it's been those guys geeking out again for another week, and we'll see you next week.